Hey guys, Mizzou Kid here. Kind of want to talk about something real quick before I get into the main point of this video. I was watching the ESPYs. Uh, some stuff that I really liked. I thought McHale was okay. It wasn't as good as maybe Seth Meyers was, or even Rob Riggle. I thought he was better than Drake as far as monologue goes. Now some of the other segments Drake did that was really funny. I'm not a Drake fan at all, but I got really bored watching it because they kept handing out all the individual awards with like 20-minute segments, and some of that kind of stuff made you feel. The Devin and Leah Steele thing, man, that hit me right in the heart. But there's some other segments I don't quite agree should have been at the ESPYs. Anyway, so I got really bored. So I started watching CF Edits of College Football, great YouTube channel, and as long as with 1 hour football, great YouTube channel to watch quick college football games. Most of the important games of the last few years are on there. Make it easy to watch and quick to watch, and I enjoy doing that when I have time and when I'm free and I'm just kind of bored. Uh, so I was watching the Alabama-Ohio State game, and on my feed became the 2012 South Carolina-Georgia game. And I didn't feel like watching that because I think it was like a 2 hour and 30-minute video, and I don't have that kind of time. I got to work tomorrow. But it made me think, when was the last time the SEC East champ was undisputed the best team in the East? Undisputed. No qualms, no questions about it. Um, the West doesn't have that problem. Last year, obviously, Alabama was the best team. They went out, they proved it. They beat Mississippi State. They beat LSU, and they beat some really good teams in the West. The West had, what, one team that wasn't ranked in the top 10 at some point last year? Um, 2013, you can debate Auburn. Oh, they have fluky plays, but they have to be good enough to get into those positions and make those fluky plays. 2012, Alabama, obviously. 2011, LSU went through the slate undefeated, so obviously. 2010, Auburn, obviously. 2009, Alabama, obviously. 08, Alabama, obviously. 2007, LSU. I think it was obvious. I don't quite remember that year that well. Mostly because I didn't really pay attention to the SEC. I was a Big 12 Mizzou fan. One half away from a national championship. Anyway, 2006, Arkansas, I believe, won it, but I don't remember that at all. So don't. If that was the last time, someone let me know. But when was the last time the East champ was undisputed best team in the East? Let's look through the last few years. 2014, Mizzou won it. Were they the best team in the East? Georgia fans, say it with me. Hell no. They weren't. When Georgia came into us and beat us, our stadium beat us 34-0. Now, sure, there were some things that could have been different, made the game less, but I think Nick Chubb just ran for another 7-yard gain on first down to make it an easy freaking 2nd and 3 for Hudson Mason. Oh, look, you just completed the pass to Michael Bennett. Oh, there they go again, touchdown Georgia. Anyway, sorry, reliving nightmares. That's in my nightmares along with Trey Mason. Thanks a lot, guys. But anyway, so in 2013, then Mizzou won it, obviously, also. Were they the best team? I think they were. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I think most people think they are. But there's a debate. South Carolina fans are like, well, we beat you guys on your field. We finished ranked higher than you. Granted, we play one less game against a tough opponent than you because you guys had to play Auburn. But and South Carolina fans, I feel pretty smart about that when you see them on Saturday down south. Or some other stuff where I debate people with this or think about this. And then 2012 is the year, really, some fans could say, oh, yeah, obviously Georgia was the best team. They gave Alabama a hell of a game. But I don't think so. I think you can make a case for Georgia, but that's the thing. They weren't undisputed. Because South Carolina beat the hell out of Georgia. In my crummy Georgia Crow video, which I apologize for right now, that was bad. I went back and watched it. I came off like a sour, jaded douche. And I apologize for that. I got to make better crows. Like, no, I'm sorry. But well, I was a sour, jaded douche after that game. But South Carolina crushed up Georgia, but they lost to LSU and they got crushed by Florida. Florida lost to Georgia. I don't think Florida lost another SEC game. But you can make a debate for Florida. You can make a debate for South Carolina. You can make a debate for Georgia. 2011, you can make Georgia won the East. Were they better in South Carolina? South Carolina fans, say it with me. Hell no. South Carolina finished ranked higher. They finished with less losses. They finished with, I think they beat Georgia. I mean, come on, let's think here. So South Carolina, that year South Carolina team is probably better. 2010, South Carolina was the best of a bunch of bad teams. I think they finished 5-3 in conference. I think they lost to Kentucky. They lost to Auburn. I lost to another team, but I don't remember. I was looking at this earlier. You can tell how bored I got. But they weren't the best team. Um, you, unless they just were in a bunch of bad teams, and I just don't remember that. Because I remember they beat Alabama somehow that year. Steven Garcia played the game of his life. So anyway, but in 2009, obviously Florida was the best team. That was a good Florida team, but they got crushed by Alabama, just like South Carolina got crushed in 2010, just like Georgia got crushed in 2011, just like Mizzou got crushed in the fourth quarter in 2013, just like Mizzou got crushed last year. Yes. I don't think South Carolina got crushed by LSU. I don't think anybody would have got crushed by Alabama in 2012. I think it would have been a good game all around. I don't think South Carolina could have quite played a better game than Mizzou did in 2013, and I definitely think Georgia would have played Bama much tougher in 2014. And that takes a lot out of me to say. That's a real man right there. But then I also want to talk about this West dominance over the East. Now the West is obviously better. I mean, the West is, like I said, one team that wasn't in the top 10 last year. That's nuts. That's insane. But the East is growing. Obviously, Tennessee's on their way back up. Tennessee's number 2 best program of all time in the SEC behind Alabama. Florida's growing. Knackleman, I think, is going to do a good job down there. He's a good coach. Look what he did at Colorado State. Mizzou, I think, will stay steady with Pinkel. Pinkel's always been a guy who beat the teams you're supposed to beat, lose to the teams you're supposed to lose to. Maybe you pull an upset, maybe you get upset. Indiana, we got upset. You look at 2013. Shit. Can't think of the last time Pinkel upset a team. Georgia, maybe, if you can call that an upset. I don't think it was by the end of the year. Anyway, so the East is rising. Georgia's going to remain pretty good. They always have good recruiting classes. So I think the East is rising. Even Kentucky is not that horrible. I mean, they went on the road and played a very good game against a good Louisville team. Look how many players were drafted off that Louisville team. But the last time I think the East was even competitive against the West was 2012. You look at the top of the SEC East, you had Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. The West, you had Alabama, Texas A&M. Now, those 2 teams were good, and they would have beaten probably any of those 3 teams in Alabama and Texas. Well, no, Texas A&M, not Texas A&M. Excuse me. Let me reiterate this. Alabama would have beaten Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. They did on a neutral field. Texas A&M would not have beaten them because they lost to Florida, and they probably would have lost to Georgia, and they probably would have lost to South Carolina. But even Vanderbilt was a top 25 team, but then Mizzou, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt sucked. And then the West, South Mississippi State was okay. They're bowl eligible. Ole Miss was okay. They're bowl eligible. Arkansas was terrible. LSU was pretty good. Top 25 good. But the East was close. It was close. And then 2013, Georgia had injuries they dealt with. South Carolina was really good. Mizzou was really good. Vanderbilt was all pretty good that year. That's when I knew Mizzou had something special that year, by the way, when they beat the hell out of Vanderbilt at Vandy. Not because Vandy's such a tough environment to play in, but because I knew Vandy was an okay team. I knew Austin Carter-Samuel was a good quarterback. He now coaches at Mizzou. I knew they had Jordan Matthews, great receiver, obviously. I knew they had a pretty good team. So when we crushed them, I thought, well, this could be a really good team. I wasn't thinking SEC, one quarter away from a national championship. But, hey. Anyway. So that's the last time, really, I think the East was even close to being competitive. I mean, like I said, 16th, top 10, East had 2. And one of them was out after a week. So the point I'm trying to make here is the West is obviously better, but the East is rising, and the East isn't that far behind. Now, I'm not saying it's better in the Pac-12 South, because that's a great division, but it's growing. And then one of the other points I want to make was the hypocrisy within the SEC. 2012, Mizzou comes in the league. A lot of injuries, lots of injuries. I'm not saying there's an excuse for why we lost to Syracuse and Vanderbilt. No. That's not an excuse, but I can say that it's kind of a reason why maybe the depth wasn't there. Why in the fourth quarter we really struggled against teams like South Carolina. Syracuse, we struggled in the fourth quarter. Florida, we struggled in the fourth quarter. And Georgia, we really struggled in the fourth quarter. But all we heard, not from you, South Carolina fans, not from Florida fans, not from Vanderbilt fans, who for some reason thought it was to be smart to chant SEC after they beat us. Um, I heard from Georgia fans was it's a next man up league. Play who you got, and you should win. It's all about depth in the SEC. Well, that's all well and good. And, I could see the point of that. You'd see the last few years of people feel down in the SEC, they replace them. But then 2013 hit. But you guys just won the East because of injuries. That's it. If we had Todd Gurley, we would have beaten you guys, even though our entire defense was healthy. Most of our receivers were healthy. Our entire offensive line was healthy. Aaron Murray was healthy, but we were missing a couple key running backs, and we lost. Come on now. There's a reason you guys went what 8-5, 9-5, whatever, 9-5, 9-4, something like that. You guys just won because of injuries. 2014, but you guys just won because of injuries. Come on now, let's be not hypocrites here. Injuries play a big role in college football because of depth and all that kind of stuff. Because the great thing about college football is one team could have a lot of NFL players, like an Alabama defense did a few years ago. Most of the time, most college football teams, the best teams are going to have 5, 6 NFL players, and the rest of the guys are college guys. They're going to play really well in college, but they're not going to make it to the next level. The best position you can point out is quarterback. I mean, look at a lot of the best quarterbacks that put out the best numbers the last few years. Where are they? Where are they? Your Colt McCoys, your Sam Bradfords, your Graham Harrells, your Chase Daniels. I know I'm just going through the 2008 Big 12 quarterback list. Your Zach Robinsons, your A.J. McCarrons, your Connor Shaws, your Darren Thomases from Oregon a few years ago. I mean, every one of them, except really Cam Newton, has really struggled. Your Tebows. And that's the great thing, is that so few of them are going to go to the NFL, and it makes out for a lot of fun matchups. But injuries all play a key role, and I'm not giving that as a reason why we lost a lot of games. Okay, let me check that. Why we lost some games we should have won, maybe, but games where teams were obviously better. Georgia was obviously better. South Carolina was better. Florida was better. They did only beat us by a touchdown. Alabama, shit, we could have played everybody healthy. We still would have kicked our butt. But you can't have it both ways. When your team wins and the other team has injuries, you can't pull the, well, it's because of injuries. Well, you have to play the next man up. And it can't be when you lose, well, it's because of injuries. You can't do that. Come on now. And I did get it from South Carolina fans. I got a lot from Georgia fans. And I'm not saying it was the Georgia fans on here. I could go back and look at some comments from the video after the 2013 win, but I don't remember which one of you said that. Anyway, this video is going on quite long enough. I know you guys are tired of hearing my voice. I'm trying to make a few more videos in the next few weeks, kind of get my presence back on here. I need more views, I need more likes, I need more comments. Trying to build something here for the University of Missouri, being one of their few spokesmen on here. I know there are a couple others, but they're a little younger than me. Obviously, I'm still pretty young, but I might be stopping this before too long. Who knows? Hopefully, my broadcast career can go on, and I can actually become something in this world, not just become a cog. Anyway, MIZOU. Hope you guys are having a great summer. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Hope everything's going great, because in 2 months, when the Mizzou Tigers hit the field against your team, things won't be going so great.